What's up, guys? This is gonna be sort of an unofficial thing until I make things work. This obviously isn't the perfect set. I got a dirty stove here. It's too damn bright from that window, but it gives a nice natural light. Hopefully. We'll see whether or not this video is actually released. This, as you can see, well, from the intro there, it's a cup of coffee. You might ask yourself, what the fuck is a cup of coffee? Well, this here is a cup of coffee. But I'm thinking you're asking, what the fuck is this show? It's a sort of a news show, but with a more like relaxed feeling to it. I think all these like news shows, they're like, this news, oh my god, holy shit. But that's not who I am. Well, sometimes, but normally I'm a pretty relaxed person. And if you've seen my videos, you wouldn't know from that, actually. That's a pretty bad analogy. Anyway, we'll start off with our first headline, and it's about Hitman, everyone's favorite stealth serial assassin game, whatever you want to call it. I've been a fan of Hitman for a long time. I've played many Hitman games. They're very good. But this recent one, the one that's going to be released this year, I think, is going to have support for DirectX 12 at launch, which is very good for a lot of PC players. I guess it's not so good if you're a console player, because that won't... But the thing is, DirectX 12, as you know, is only available on Windows 10, and me myself, I prefer the Windows 7 platform. I think that's their best work, except for Windows 98 and XP. If we want to go like deep into the operating system world, at least for Microsoft, my personal favorite would be 7, XP, and 98. Those are the... I think they're the most commonly, I guess, agreed upon best operating systems that Microsoft has made. I guess some people might think differently. I think there's probably one person out there that thinks that Vista was a really good operating system, but that person would be wrong. Anyway, moving on. So you know EA, the big I don't want to call it developer. It's a publisher. You know, they have a lot of titles under their belt. They own DICE, they own Ghost Studios and stuff like that. So they're producing pretty awesome games. But did you also know that they're producing a lot of DLCs? Well, if you played any of their games, you would know that they, yeah, a lot of DLCs. Anyway, they get approximately 1.3 billion American dollars per year from DLC alone. That's sort of insane. These numbers might be incorrect on some years, but I guess 2015, well, considering how much the season pack for Battlefront was, I would imagine that that was like half of the amount of money that they earned that year. But that's a lot of money. Their mobile market is something like $650 million, and their subscription-based stuff is like 300 to 400 million bucks, which is a lot. And that's insane. Anyway, we're moving away from that because there's probably going to be a big discussion about it. Well, there's a lot of discussion about that. Anyway, you probably heard of No Man's Sky. If you like exploring, if you like space, if you like adventure, you probably have heard about No Man's Sky. And I am very excited about it. So apparently it will have this many planets, and all of the planets will be, well, planet-sized. We don't really know what they mean by that. I guess you could say that Earth is a planet, and Saturn is a planet, and Jupiter is a planet, but, you know, the size is a bit different there. But so, hopefully they'll be in the size of Earth at least. And they're gonna be like onion layered, so you have like the top layer and then the layer below that, and then you know, like we have on our own Earth, like an illustration here. And that's cool. Like that gives the impression that it's a real planet. I guess you can dig for different stuff, like different minerals and different materials and so on. And the stuff that you do, like the digging and like gathering materials and so on, they have a permanent impact on the planet and the universe itself, which is really cool. And I don't know if this is true or not. I tried looking up, but there's like vague answers to this. But it's gonna be multiplayer, I think, because according to what they're saying in an interview, I'll put a text here, a quote. It seems like they want to have multiplayer, but they've sort of neglected multiplayer before, so, you know, who really knows? But it would be cool. But the thing is, you would never see anyone, like, ever. Even if there's like 1 million players, even 100 millions of players, like the chance that you would run into someone is almost impossible. Like there's no chance you would ever see any other player. So it's sort of like this voyage that you go alone. Anyway, you go to these different planets and you encounter aliens and they speak different languages and you need to learn their language in order to communicate with them. I'm assuming that's the point, at least. And that seems like a really cool idea. I mean, it's gonna probably be really difficult to like decrypt and understand the language of an alien species, but who knows, maybe it's simplified. Anyway, we're moving on to our last point here. We've talked about Hitman, we talked about No Man's Sky, and we talked about EA making a lot of bucks. Remedy, the guys who are making Quantum Break, seems like a really cool game. And according to them, they say that they have no plans to release DLC. Now, this is both good and bad in my opinion. I would say that it's good because, well, paid DLCs, as you hear from EA, is a big market. And the downside is, you know, DLCs, they contribute with additional content. I mean, what would Fallout be or Skyrim be or whatever, these games, without DLCs? Borderlands 2, for example, is a really good game, but the DLCs are like the thing that makes it really, really special. And excluding DLCs is not really a good thing. I would say if you don't want to have paid content, make content and make it free. I mean, it's just as simple as that. You could call the downloadable content update. That would be really simple, like every MMO ever. Except for World of Warcraft and a lot. Actually, scratch that. Don't quote me on that. But a lot of free MMOs, they have content updates and they don't cost anything. They add new areas and stuff like that, but obviously they live on the microtransaction. But look at GTA 5. Yes, they have microtransaction, but it's ridiculously expensive. So even if you would want to pay for that, I mean, it's, I think, 75 euros, something like that, 75 bucks for 8 million in-game currency. I'm sorry, that's just too much, alright? Anyway, moving away from that, I think it's both a good and bad idea, but I want to hear your comments about it down below. So, if you think it's a good idea, comment down below. If you think it's a bad idea, comment down below. I mean, yeah, there's that. Anyway, I think it was called Super Tuesday, Super Thursday, something like that, last week, where Trump won primaries in 7 states. After that, well, overnight, the Google search for how to move to Canada had increased by 1,000%. So to all of you in America, it's time to move to Canada, alright? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It probably didn't look that great, and it's obviously because I don't have a big apartment, so I'll have to make do with what I have. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you don't like it, don't like it. I'll try to push these episodes out on Sundays, but obviously it's Monday today, and I'm recording it on a Monday. I tried recording it yesterday, but I wasn't happy with the result. Anyway, if you like it again, give it a like. If you don't like it, dislike it. If you're new, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.